I have been so hesitant to post about this for two reasons. Number one, I don't like negativity and I don't want to be like the bearer of bad news. Number two, I didn't want to believe it.
I'm living life on the edge, bitch, I'm all about a check. Money, power, and respect, this shit running through my flesh.
I have been so hesitant to post about this for two reasons. Number one, I don't like negativity and I don't want to be like the bearer of bad news. Number two, I didn't want to believe it. But after doing so much research and getting a lot of messages, I'm going to just deliver the unvarnished truth to you guys. We're just going to lay it out straight. We're in a dating crisis. Not basically, we are. That's what's happening. So let me look at my research here because I don't want to mess it up. So men looking for casual dates and our relationships is down 50%, 50, since 2019. Not since 1970, since 2019, right before the pandemic, down 50%. They're not fucking looking, which means if you're a woman looking, they don't fucking give a shit. So as this trend continues, by 2040, 45% of women, 45% of women between the ages of 20 and 45 will be single and childless based on this trend. Let that sink in for a moment.
So basically, what this woman just said is something that we have known for a while now, is that men are checking out of the dating game. A lot of guys, man, they don't want to be bothered with it. A lot of guys are not into the chase anymore. Spending all your days and your time thinking about how can I get this girl? You know, what do I got to do to get her? I got to make sure I'm looking like this and doing this and whatever. All this stuff to impress a woman. A lot of guys are just like, you know, in this era right now, the times that we living in, they just don't want to deal with it, man. They just don't want to put the effort in. They got other things that they rather be doing. Playing video games. You know, a lot of guys, you know what I'm saying, we like to play video games. A lot of guys like to, you know, go do stuff outside, man, work on something, create something, innovate. You know how men do. We always creating and innovating, man. That's how the world got to be the way that it is now. For men putting their head down and really getting into some things that they really are interested in, right? So that's what you got going on now. And I think a lot of women are starting to wake up and see this as well. Because when I'm saying checking out, I'm not saying that they're just not dating or dealing with women at all. Like, you're going to always have dudes that are dating women, stuff like that. We know that, right? But what I'm saying is, a lot of guys, even if they are dating per se, you know, talking to a woman or whatever, right? They're just not taking them seriously, right? Other than maybe for a quick smash or hookup or something like that. A lot of guys are going that route when they do interact with women. That's what they would rather spend their time on. So they deal with the chick, hook up, whatever, and then they can get on about their day. And I ain't gonna even lie, that's what I've been on. I've been on that for a minute. You know, a lot of the women I meet, you know, it's more just for, we gonna just have some fun, and then when I'm done, I get on about my way. You know, and I got, you know, a whole roster of women that I do that with. And I know a lot of guys, man, are doing that now. A lot of guys are doing that right now. You know, like, guys don't want to sit around and think about trying to, you know, plan some date and then spend their hard-earned money going out with some ungrateful chick. And then what's going to come of that? Then you worried about, oh, is she going to call me back? And then just a lot of thought and effort and stuff like that put into that stuff, man. And a lot of guys, man, they just ain't on it, man. They not going. You know, and just like the woman was saying, that a lot of women, they'll be the ones that are looking now, and a lot of these guys, they're not going to be like looking like that. You know what I mean? Like, hey, they'll be like, hey, you know, we can hang out or whatever, but after that, man, I'm gone. You know, I'm going to do something that I want to do. I'm not really looking for like a long-term relationship like that to turn into whatever's going. A lot of guys are just not, They're just not seeking that right now, man. Just, you know, a lot of it's reaction to how a lot of modern women have been behaving. And like we say, the juice isn't worth the squeeze, right? I mean, we've been hearing this since, 2019, you know, where you got the article. Let me bring this up. Yeah, the article, I remember seeing this on Twitter, and I saw it just like going through Google too. You know, CNN Business, you know, what it says by 2023, 45% of working women aged 25 to 44 in the United States will be single. It says the largest share in the history of this country. That's already telling you where things are going. And, you know, she brought up some stats as well. She was saying something about like 2040 that the women will not only be single, but also childless as well. So, I mean, it's looking like a grim future right now for a lot of these women out here, man. Because a lot of men have just changed course. They're not buying into that whole romantic love thing anymore. I'm falling in love with this woman or whatever, because a lot of women not moving like that now, right? So men have had to adjust. You can't do the same things that men 40, 50, 70, 80, 90 years ago were doing, because the women were different. The women behaved differently back then than they do now. These women now are all on this, you know, me, selfish, everything is about me. So now a guy has to look out for himself, man. A lot of guys are putting themselves first now. You know, it's not that, you know, benevolent man from back in like the 40s. It's just like, I'm just going to do everything to make sure that this woman is happy. I'm going to freaking break my back to make sure that this woman is happy and make sure that she's smiling. And if she's not happy, I got to figure out why she's not so I can fix it. Like, man, Deuce is not doing that right now. You know, hey, there are some guys in relationships, and if you are, man, that's good, man. Hey, relationships are good if you got you a good woman to be in a relationship with. But a lot of these guys, they're not finding that. So they're just choosing to do other things. So with that, I mean, like I said, that's where things are trending, you know what I mean? So like I said, women, if they didn't know it before, they're starting to figure it out now. Like in my everyday dealings, I've seen a lot of more women in my area be a little bit more, trying to be a little bit more outgoing, you know, smiling, trying to flirt and stuff like that. Because I see guys, man, a lot of guys, man, they just going about their way, man. You know, they see a girl that might be looking cute or whatever, they'll see the girl and just walk by and keep it moving. They're not trying to stop her and talk to her, nothing like that. Dudes are not doing that stuff no more, man. You know, and I've talked about that in previous videos. So it all kind of just is coming to a head, and that's where we headed right now, and I don't see it changing. I just don't see it changing. The climate that we're in, I just don't see things changing. You know, and I want to dispel the notion also that I've seen it from another CNN video where they were saying, oh, you know, like men are lonely. No, men are not lonely. That's hilarious. They try to paint the narrative that men are lonely because they're not dealing with women as much or with that same like veracity. So men are just, you know, lonely and stuff like that, and they just can't get a woman. And no, that's not what's going on. That's what they would like to paint, that narrative that men are lonely. The dudes are just not participating in the process. Yo, let me know what y'all think, man. You know, I want to hear y'all comments, man. So, yo, sub the channel. You know, like the video. Yo, leave those comments, man. Let me know what y'all think about this subject, man. And till the next time, man, I'm gone.
You cannot change a pimp. Too many hoes to overdose off of this game, I spit.